Directors for this play. This is our student director, Esmeralda. This is her last year here. And then Mrs. Bradley is my assistant director. I just want to give some credit to our backstage crew and our sound crew because I feel like they kind of don't get the credit that's due. We do have a wonderful stage manager, Emma. She's a freshman. She kind of runs the show behind the scenes, so let's give her a round of applause. And then our lighting and sound crew up on the top, they always work so hard so you can see and hear our plays. So I want to thank them also. I am so excited that you're here. Could you do me a favor out of respect for the cast members? Could you please pull out your phones and put them on silent? Actually, better than that is even off because sometimes the is distracting for our actors. And when it's live theater, it's unpredictable. Also, there will be a 15-minute intermission in the middle of the show. Please use that time to look at our beautiful shirts that we got. All the cast members are on the back. They are $15 a piece. Actually, one of the actors in the show designed the logo that's on the program and right here. She did an amazing job. And then you can also send a note to an actor if you'd like to during intermission. Am I forgetting anything? Are you guys ready to see Little Women?
In the beginning, you're just a young thing, just another young creature in this universe, and you hardly know you're a girl. You're so busy learning to walk and run and ride if there's a horse handy, or if not, the limb of an apple tree, rejoicing in what you've got and looking forward to what you will have, whether more or less, more you hope. You just can't help it. Christmas won't be Christmas without any presents.
It's so dreadful to be poor.
I don't think it's fair for some girls to have plenty of pretty things, and other girls, nothing at all.
Well, we have father, mother, and each other. We haven't got father and won't have him for a long, long time.
Well, there's a war on, and I think it's splendid of father to go as chaplain as he's too old to be drafted and not strong enough to soldier. I wish I was standing guard outside father's tent this very minute, but I'm not. So be it. You don't have father, but you have me. Father said I was to take his place, and so I will. What we're gonna do, girls, is make our own kind of Christmas.
I suppose we have to humor her.
What, humor me?
You aren't father.
No, but I'm to take his place, he said.
Being father in this family has always been your fondest wish.
No, it's not. It's a duty. A homemade Christmas, I say. A Christmas of our own invention.
You've always wanted to be father because you want to be a boy.
So what if I do?
And because you want any reason to boss us.
Oh, fiddlesticks. You call it bossing, but I know you'll want to do what I have in mind. The play we've been rehearsing, girls. Why don't we present it for Mother?
Yes. I don't know.
It's almost ready. If you know your lines, Amy, I'd say we're ready.
Well, I do know my lines.
All right, we'll have the play, and that's not all.
I suppose we could act the play. It's just that last Christmas we had plum pudding with cranberries and oysters and presents all around. And this year we have corn pudding with raisins. Raisins, mind you.
Hush, Amy.
Easy for you to say, Meg. You'll be going out to parties with Joe as you did last year.
I won't be.
Nor I.
Why not?
Because I have nothing fit to wear. My white muslin is worn out, and Joe spilled tea in my tarlatan.
Joe spilled tea, Joe spilled tea. Can't help being clumsy, always in a hurry.
What are you up to, Joe?
Shh, get the dress out, Meg, and I'll pour tea all over the rest of it, and you can go to parties in a tea-colored gown.
It's not just a tea stain, it's the torn hem. Torn in 3 different places, and a seam is giving out in the back.
Don't peek, Amy.
Not to mention the patched cuffs.
Well, just pretend you're a poor foreigner who's just blown in from a storm, or a gypsy, or a spy under orders to attend parties. That's the only way I'd ever go, under orders.
And what's so wrong with parties?
Amy, don't get her started.
People ask you to dance is what?
Boys?
Yes, unless you happen to be a boy yourself, which solves the whole thing. Because then you can stand with your back to the wall and frown down on everything.
Which is what you do anyway.
Do not.
You do, don't you, Joe?
All right. But then any minute someone can step up and ask you to dance. And you're disappointed if they do and disgusted if they don't. And then you're out there on the floor and they're chomping all over the hem of your dress. Amy, what's that on your nose?
You know what it is.
Don't you mean you're tromping all over their feet?
All right, yes, I'm not the greatest dancer. It's a clothespin. If you're gonna pin it up there in the breeze, you might as well wash a handkerchief and hang it.
Well, if you can't dance at a party, Joe, at least you could flirt.
Flirt? You don't mean that, Meg. Because if you do, I'll have to go to every party and stop you. Dance with the person and people start thinking things and saying things. Flirt and those things might as well be true. Because before you know it, bad comes to worse and some young man comes calling.
Some young man comes calling Aunt?
Doesn't that hurt?
Maybe a little.
Amy, I don't think that will really alter the shape of your nose.
But I want my nose to be extinguished, not flat and stumpy.
Extinguished?
The lady's face should be in every way delicate and extinguished.
Amy, you mean distinguished.
Distinguished, yes. Some young man comes calling Aunt?
Comes calling to try and marry you. The very worst thing. There, I've spoken it.
I don't see why it's the very worst thing.
Because then you have to mind your cooking and your sewing and be sweet and pretty in every way, extinguished, and your adventures are over and your liberty is finished and you might as well be dead.
I know. Sorry, Joe.
Marmee married Papa.
It's different. They're a mother and father.
Amy, you know she can't really discuss this. Don't worry, Joe. If I have to look ragged at a party, I'd really rather stay at home.
Shoo, Beth, I'll let you see in a minute.
I wish I could stay at home when I have nothing nice to wear, but I must go anyway, every day, to school.
School is not a party, and yes, you must.
But we're meant to go out and see the world, Amy. I only mean it's good to be at home at Christmas. The world's full of places and fascinating people. What's the point in sitting home every day?
Nobody sits at home but me.
I didn't mean you, Bethy.
Do you think you would like to try school again, dear?
I might. Oh, no, I simply can't bear so many faces.
You're not lazy. You're bashful, Beth. And you don't merely sit at home. You work very hard as Meg or I do. You play the piano, which is truly beyond me. You play it wonderfully well, and it takes you to places, doesn't it? You and I go to all the really good places. To the halls of legend in the days of yore, to Beowulf in the Mead Hall, and...
The bloodthirsty Grendel.
Ew.
Yes, or to the fairylands. I'm writing another story, and when this one's finished, I'll have a whole book, and the story begins.
Long ago, far away in a distant land.
That's right, Bethy. And one of these days, I intend to take you out on an actual adventure. Not just in a book or in music, but a real pack-up-and-go journey, far, far away.
Do you really mean it, Joe?
Yes, I do. I'll take all of you. Now, how's this?
A Christmas present?
There weren't to be any presents.
It's for me, isn't it?
Amy!
Well, I'm the youngest.
Where did you get it, Joe?
I bought it.
With what money?
The only money I had.
Your Christmas dollar?
Your Christmas dollar? You were supposed to spend that on yourself.
I did. I spent it to please myself.
Then it's not for me.
I don't believe it's for any of us.
No one in this room, because she'd give it to them privately and not make the rest jealous.
It's not for Aunt March.
Horrors, no.
I've guessed who it's for.
So have I.
It's not for that new boy, is it? Old Mr. Lawrence's grandson. I know you like to watch him ride his horse.
I'd like to meet him, but I'd hardly give a present to a boy I haven't met.
You're guessing too far afield.
It's for Mother.
Yes, it's for Marmee. I thought that would make me happiest. We know that Christmas isn't only plum pudding, and we ought to show her that we know it. So, let's get cracking. There's a Christmas play to rehearse and carols to sing, and there's one present for Marmee.
2. I bought her a pair of gloves.
You did? But there's a good fellow.
And I got her handkerchiefs.
Bravo, Beth.
And I kept my Christmas dollar.
It's all right, Amy. It's yours to keep.
It's just that I haven't decided on a way to spend it yet. I thought perhaps a box of Ava's drawing pencils. You may think me selfish, but if I'm ever to become an artist, I need pencils. If I'm too young to go out to parties, at least I can have drawing pencils. You have no idea how boring it is to be made to stay at home while others are going out to parties. It really is excruciating.
Excruciating?
Thank you, Beth.
Really, Amy, it's yours to keep or spend.
What a glorious smell coming from the kitchen. It must be pudding. Hannah, how's the pudding?
Don't shout, Joe.
Oh, I am hungry. Rehearsal, everybody. The witch's curse, an operatic tragedy, or rather, that is to say, a Christmas opera.
What has Christmas to do with it?
I'll have to work that in.
Hannah, what are you making?
You saw everything that went into it, dear.
It couldn't just be corn pudding. It smells too delicious.
It's all we have, thanks be to God.
Hannah, could you stay and watch a rehearsal? The fainting scene isn't right. When Amy faints, it's supposed to be a big deal. A great lady is fainted and all that. So, a bell sounds. The curtains fly apart. Act 2. A gloomy castle. Here, the forbidden tower. There, a beautiful Zara stands in the tower. Scene 2. Zara. Beautiful Zara. Amy?
Yes?
You stand here, Amy. Remember, by now, you've already descended the tower.
I'd love to stay and help girls, but I have to go watch the pudding. It's all we have, so I need it to be perfect.
How soon may we eat it, Hannah?
Heavens, not until evening. Now you stay out of the kitchen, Amy.
Don't worry, she's needed here. Put your mind to fainting, Amy. Zara, beautiful Zara, I give you one final chance or you die.
I love you, Rodrigo.
I'm not Rodrigo, I'm Hugo.
Are you the hero or the villain?
Well, which do you think? I'm pointing a gun at you. Amy, we have to perform this tonight. Are you at all acquainted with the story?
Don't worry, I know my lines.
Well, speak them then.
Okay. Let me see. Here I go. I'm fainting!
You can't just faint into a chair. You have to just drop or it's not fainting. Look here, do this way. Clasp your hands so. Now, this is your line, Amy. Rodrigo, save me!
Rodrigo!
She sounds as though someone is sticking her with pins.
Amy, are you seriously trying?
Yes, I'm trying, and you're not so brilliant yourself. You don't look like Hugo the villain.
Well, wait till I put on the big red boots, and I think the glint of my sword will impress you.
You sound like you have a frog in your neck, and I don't want to rehearse anymore.
A frog in her throat, Amy.
I don't want to rehearse anymore. We've rehearsed this play every day for a month now, and it's become tiresome.
Is that so?
Yes, that's so, and I'm nearly bored to tears with this stupid old play, even if you did write it.
Amy, a play can't be any good unless it's properly rehearsed.
It's too late. When the audience laughs at you, Amy, just don't blame me.
Marmee and Hannah won't laugh. They'll say I'm pretty.
They will too, and you'll be satisfied. I see right through you, Amy. You're as transparent as glass.
You think you see through me, don't you? You think you know everything? Well, you don't.
Oh, don't I? Marmee and Hannah will tell me I'm pretty, and that's all you want out of life. Christopher Columbus.
It's not, and don't swear.
I'll swear if I like, and what's more?
Don't, Joe. It's so boyish.
That's why I do it. You know where I belong? With Father at the war. I disguise myself in a uniform and go to battle like any soldier.
Then go if you must. You have the boots.
Don't tempt her, Amy.
Yes, and when I fight fiercely, fight and die if I had to.
Don't say that, Joe.
It's just talk, Bethy. I won't be an old poke forever.
An old poke?
A fellow with nothing to do but knit.
You aren't a fellow.
Am if I say so.
I detest rude, unladylike girls.
And I hate niminy-piminy children.
Now, Joe and Amy.
Where are you going?
I have an errand.
You can't go now. The pudding's almost done.
Really?
We can't be gone when the celebration's just starting.
Really, girls, you're both to blame. And as much as I hate to lecture,
How am I to blame?
well, sometimes you're entirely too prissy for your own good. You'll grow up to be a goose if you don't take care. Your manners are nice when you don't try to be elegant.
They are.
Yes, they are.
And how is Joe to blame?
Do you have an errand?
I do.
Then you'd best be on your way.
Very well. I'm going.
Come back directly. I know exactly what Meg has to say. It won't be a long lecture.
Now then, Joe.
Go ahead, I'm ready for you this time.
You don't have to tell her. She knows.
But I must. It's time you left off boyish tricks. Aren't you old enough, Josephine?
Josephine?
You best not call her Josephine. Aunt March calls her Josephine. I don't think she'll ever answer to Josephine.
Thank you, Beth. Now that you're tall, Joe, now that you're tall and you turn up your hair, you must remember you are a lady.
I am not. And if turning up my hair makes me one, there.
Honestly, Joe.
In the beginning, you're just a young thing, just another young creature in this universe, and you hardly know you're a girl. You're so busy learning to walk and run and ride if there's a horse handy.
Or a limb of a tree if there's no horse.
That's right, Bethy.
Beth, you're not helping.
And then suddenly they tell you, not that you're grown, but that you're a lady and you best be fragile so that someone can come and claim you for his own, like a doll from a toy shop shelf.
Well, perhaps, but what else can you do? Unless you want to stay here at home all your life.
Make my own living.
But if you're one of those women who make their own way,
Living, I said.
you'll work dreadfully hard.
Well, I look forward to it. I can't help but to think about a boy's life and all they get to do. I guess I can do just as much as I'm allowed. I wonder what that Laurence boy is doing at the moment.
Preparing for Christmas alone with his grandfather.
That does sound a bit lonely. I wish we could meet him.
Well, you can't. He's rich, we're poor, and there's no proper way to meet.
No proper way? No proper
And
way?
now, Joe.
Here's Marmee. Strike up, Beth. Stoke the fire, Meg.
I'll put her slippers by the fire.
No, leave that to me. She's home. She's home.
Oh, hurrah, she's home.
Merry Christmas, Marmee.
Three cheers and hallelujah.
Let me take your cloak.
I'm glad to find you so merry, my girls.
Happy Christmas, Mother March. I'll serve the pudding right up.
You sit here.
It's not my birthday.
No.
Whatever you say.
You'll see.
Where are my slippers?
Just you wait.
Where's Amy?
She's on a mysterious errand.
Here I am. Marmee! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas.
Now,
What's all this?
open those first. You'll need them.
Slippers, new slippers.
First-rate army issue.
Joe, dear, thank you. And from Meg.
Gloves!
Lovely. Children, how did you manage this? Did you, by any chance,
You know what we did.
you each spent your Christmas dollar on a present for me? What's this now? From Beth. Handkerchiefs.
I hemmed them myself, but the stitching's a little crooked.
But done with your own two hands. And from Amy.
You see, it's the large bottle of cologne, not the small one. Though I was terribly tempted by a box of Faber's drawing pencils for my own self. But instead, here, I've given all my money for this present. And see, it's the prettiest one of all.
Oh, really?
Now Amy.
And I'm truly trying not to be selfish anymore.
We're coming, Hannah. Thank you, Amy. Girls, you've been so very generous, all of you. Shall we go to supper?
Hurrah for Hannah.
Hurrah for the pudding!
Well, before we sit down, girls, there's something weighing on my mind that I must tell you. You know the Hummel family, Mrs. Hummel and her 5 children who live just down the way. Well, I stopped in to see them on my way home, only to find all 6 of them, and the newborn baby, huddled onto one bed to keep from freezing, for there was no fire. There didn't seem to be any food there either.
Oh, well, I'm glad you told us before we began eating.
Yes, we'll give him our supper.
Our whole supper?
Mother March, on Christmas Eve.
I know, Hannah, but they have nothing.
May I help carry the supper to them?
Yes, we will go.
I'll carry the pudding.
Good. And firewood. We can take the stack of firewood I chopped this afternoon.
Can I push the wheelbarrow?
Can you manage it, Beth?
I'll help you.
Capital, Marmee. Because you see, if you and the little girls take supper to the Hummels, that'll leave me and Meg to set up for the play.
The play? What play?
We're putting on a Christmas play for you, Marmee.
And what might the play be about?
Don't tell her a word of it.
And we could have biscuits and more tea after the play.
Might there be a hero in the play? Might there be a villain in red boots?
It's a new play, Marmee.
Don't tell her the plot, Beth. Promise, Amy?
I'll not reveal a word.
Oh, look, it's the Laurence boy.
Joe, come help me over here.
Look, we have box seats.
Beth's playing me over today.
Yes, I am.
There is a lady named Beautiful Zara. I love her so much I'd kill or I'd die. She loves a fellow who's called Rodrigo. The witch's curse on Rodrigo, I cry! Curse Rodrigo, curse Rodrigo.
Who is invoking the witch's curse?
It is I, Hugo, the villain.
Oh, you again. What is it this time?
I would like some poison.
What? Poison again? You're always asking for poison.
Give me a poison to kill Rodrigo and a love potion. A potion to make Zara love me. Don't make me ask you twice.
You are unusually polite. You must be serious this time.
Yes, I am. I have finally found love. Do you dare thwart me?
Not directly, not for the moment. How, minion?
Hither I come from my fairy home, afar from the silver moon. Take the magic spell and use it well, or its powers will vanish soon.
A potion and a poison. I hate wicked Hugo. I spit in his eye. Hugo shall take his own poison and die! Here!
They call me Rodrigo. And may I present the beautiful Zara?
Rodrigo, Rodrigo!
Don't try to sing, Amy. You know you can't sing.
Rodrigo, Rodrigo, you know I can't sing.
Yes, and what else would you like to say?
Nothing comes to mind at the moment.
I must leave the rest of the scene up to imagination. Intermission, ladies and gentlemen.
Amy pretty?
And Beth is and Joe is so good in both parts, you can hardly tell she's the same person.
But I want to sing.
It's just a masterpiece.
You can't just say your lines.
Isn't it, though?
But you get to sing.
We're starting. Listen. Amy's going to sing. Amy, let her sing.
Carry on, Amy, all the way to the top.
This doesn't feel very steady, Joe.
Shh, we're on stage. The audience can hear you.
Rodrigo, my hero!
Zara, beloved.
Rodrigo, my hero!
Yes.
I think someone's coming to the door.
Who could that be?
Ahem.
Let me go.
Thank you, Hannah.
What's the matter out there in the audience?
I'm sorry, Joe. Please, proceed.
Well, what What are you doing anyway, locked away in that tower? Is it that your father has kept you up there to keep you away from me because I don't have enough money to marry you? Is that the reason?
Yes, that's the reason.
Then shall we run away together?
Rodrigo, my hero!
I'll take that for your answer.
No! Where do you think you are going? You blackguard, you penniless rogue, you knave.
Don Pedro, my father! I told you so! I told you so!
This is a sorry performance.
Act as if it was all right.
Wonderful. You say what comes next.
You, Rodrigo, listen. I have lived all these many years, a worry life, a sad life, for hours and years and seasons, a worry, sorry life.
A speech out of nowhere, Meg.
Stay in character, Joe.
Oh, my word, look who's here. The end.
Mr. Laurence, our old friend.
Please forgive the intrusion, Miss March. I heard you give your supper to the poor, Miss March. So I wonder if you permit us to share.
How splendid of you. Children, Emmy, Meg, Joe, come. This is Mr. Laurence, you know, father's friend who lives just down the way. And young Mr. Laurence, I believe.
My grandson and his tutor, Mr. Brooke.
I do admire your boots, Miss March.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Lawrence, but I'm not Miss March. I'm really Joe.
Oh, I'm not Mr. Lawrence. I'm only Laurie.
Laurie Lawrence, what an odd name.
My first name is Theodore, but I don't like it. It's too stuffy. And this is Brooke.
And who might you be?
Margaret.
Margaret.
Just plain Meg. Please call her Meg, and let's be ourselves. I did so hope we'd have an excuse to meet you.
So pleased to meet you, Margaret.
Thank you, and this is Amy.
Well, you'll be rushing off to college soon? I see you pegging away at your books.
Oh, not for a year or two. I'm only 15.
And so am I. I'm glad you won't be rushing off now that we've met.
Oh, we've had to meet. You all seem so jolly. I couldn't stay away forever.
Wouldn't it be capital to have you as a brother? I'd wager we'd have some real adventures. Don't you wish you were at the war?
Of course.
Look, Joe, smoked chicken. Look, actual real minced meat.
Dear Mr. Laurence, how can I thank you?
As it happens, I love music.
Beth, listen to this.
I certainly do love music, and sometimes I hear someone else's house play. Whoever it is, I do like to hear her.
She's a bit bashful.
You play beautifully.
Well, enough for hymns and carols, but I'm afraid this old piano won't stay in tune.
Won't it now?
I hate my name too. It's so sentimental. I wish everyone would call me Joe instead of Josephine. My Aunt March, for instance. Josephine, Josephine. How do you get everyone to call you Laurie instead of Theodore?
Well, they call me Theodore. I thrash them.
I don't suppose I can thrash Aunt March.
Merry Christmas.
Good evening, everyone, and yes, Merry Christmas.
And March, what a surprise.
I heard you had no presents, and so I see there is apparently no special need. You seem to do quite well on your own. I gather you have no need of help from relations?
Aunt March, our kind neighbor, Mr. Laurence.
Of course, we're acquainted. Charmed as always, Georgetta.
James?
Beth was just telling us how she loves to play piano.
Yes, I know all that.
No, but she plays with real feeling.
Find trees, don't you?
Don't ask her that.
Yes.
Don't tell him.
Shh. If you want a real lady, there she is. You ride horses, don't you?
You know I do.
Josephine, come here to me. Whatever are you wearing? Is this what you call your Christmas best?
Georgetta, you surely must sing for your supper. Beth?
Of the night, what in signs of promise are? Traveler o'er young mountains high, see that glory beaming star. Watchman down its beauteous ray, either hope or joy can find. Traveler, get its heralds gray, promise news of Christmas tide.
please do come in. Here, sit next to me and tell me everything.
Well, I delivered Fair Meg to the mansion door.
Yes, and?
And that's all.
Well, how did she look?
She did look... Where's Joe?
Please, Laurie, we're discussing Meg.
Quite right, sorry. What were we saying?
Well, how was she? Did she fit in with the other girls?
Yes, I think they found her quite satisfactory.
And they hugged her and kissed her and screamed all over her dress and her gloves.
All that and more.
Good. I'm glad I'm not there.
Oh, honestly, Joe, don't you have any respect for anything important?
Why didn't you stay?
Well, I knew you were here, so I came back.
Oh. Well, I was invited, but I declined. I don't like fancy social occasions.
Fine with me. I came back because I felt like a visit with you.
Oh, very well. Come along, Teddy.
Teddy?
May I call you that? Theodore's a bit too much, but I like Teddy, and I think it suits you.
Then call me Teddy.
Come along.
So this is your special hideaway? May I really come in?
Well, usually no one is allowed in but me, but yes, you may. I call it my garret, and I like to pretend that I'm a brilliant writer, and I live here, on top of the house, amidst a bustling city.
All alone?
What of it?
Oh, nothing. Going to show me a story.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, I'll wager you're a brilliant writer.
Time will tell, but not today.
Well, this has to be capital. To have the attic all to yourself?
Yes, and actually I'm not all alone. There's Scrabble.
Scrabble? Who or what is Scrabble?
Oh, he's quite intelligent. Excellent listener. Oh, right, there he is behind your foot!
Oh my God!
Gone again. Goodbye, Scrabble.
I don't believe he exists at all.
Oh, he does, and I read him all of my stories.
Some people have a muse or an angel. Leave it to Joe March to have a rat.
Oh, I do like you. Forgive me for being cranky. I'm working on a book of fairy tales. I've been working on it forever, but the last story won't come out right. I'm afraid I've been lazy and restless since Christmas. All of us have, though we try to be good.
Perhaps you try too hard and in the wrong direction. You say you're lazy, cranky, and restless. That won't do. You need actual wickedness. I think you should smoke cigars.
My word. Mind your tongue, Teddy. No one speaks to me as you do.
Good.
No one dares.
I think I'm about to be sent home.
You are, because I want to write.
Well, okay then. But come to the window. I have something to show you. Come on, hurry. What do you see?
A birdhouse?
It's a purple martin house, but I cleaned it out for a post office. There's a cubby hole for each of us. For Meg, for Beth, for Amy, and for me and for you. Just in case we can't see each other constantly, then we can all exchange letters.
Splendid. That's positively literary. Now get out of here so I can write you a letter.
When is Meg coming home?
You asked me that half an hour ago, darling. Do you remember what I told you?
She's not coming home till tomorrow.
That's right.
Seems like forever.
It's only a weekend.
And the good fairy said, I won't leave you money or pretty dresses, but I will leave you the spirit to seek your own future fortune from your own efforts. The end. Signed, Josephine March. Well, that's done. All done, Scrabble. 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 Show yourself. All right, then, don't show yourself. But look here, Scrabble. This little book is all done and neat, and I don't need anybody chewing on it. I don't need any teeth marks on the bindings. Listen, everyone, I finished my book of fairy tales.
Why, congratulations, Joe.
Forget it, Laurie. I was just playing make-believe.
Make-believe?
Yes, that was it. You're free to go home.
Oh, Meg, you're home. But you weren't to be home today. You're supposed to be at your party.
Her ladyship, delivered to you from the jaws of worldly vice.
Oh, Meg, I've missed you awfully.
I was only gone for a day and night, Amy.
Home early, Meg.
Yes, I've had a beastly time.
Oh, now, Meg, I can't believe that was a beastly time you were having. Why, you should have seen her there at the party.
Laurie.
She bats her eyes, she curtsies, she fans her low-cut gown.
Meg doesn't own a low-cut gown.
And what was that sparkly stuff in the glass, Meg? Oh, ginger ale, my dear fellow. It was all ginger ale. And may I have a sip? Oh, no, better not.
Hush up, Laurie. You're giving us a worry.
Oh, no, I assure you I'm all admiration.
Was the party, Meg?
Well, it was nice. You might even say perfect.
Every luxury, a 12-piece orchestra, crystal caviar.
It was beautiful. The food was divine.
And the dancing. Do you realize that Meg knows how to do all the dances? Even the wild ones.
I was danced when I was asked. You asked me yourself. You danced so expertly, so why shouldn't have I?
Here, here.
What would you like to have seen, Laurie? Did you want me in a dowdy frock with my back to the corner peeking at the festivities? That's it. Meg the freak from the poor, eccentric, bookish family.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean any of that. In fact, I'm terribly glad to be home.
No, I'm the one who should apologize. Forgive me for teasing Meg. You did look lovely even if you weren't quite yourself. I think I'll push off. Grandfather expects me for tea or something.
It's all right, Laurie, really. Thank you for fetching me home.
Goodbye then.
Goodbye, Laurie.
Joe, check the post office tomorrow. There'll be something for you.
Are you ashamed of us, Meg?
Marmee, I'm sorry. I want to fess up. All what Laurie said was true. I romped, I drank champagne, I flirted.
You flirted? But we discussed flirting. We said no flirting.
I let them dress me up in a borrowed frippery.
You wore a low-cut gown?
Yes, I did.
Really? Amy, please.
But then, standing at the punch bowl in my borrowed gown, I started to feel peculiar. I couldn't remember quite who I was. And when the gossip began, I wished with all my heart I was home. I'm sorry for the gossip, Mother, but I didn't invent it. I think I best tell you what they said and get it off my mind. They said that you have what they call plans for us and Laurie because he has money, and that you want him to marry us. Oh, I mean, one of us.
How peculiar.
It's not peculiar. It's ridiculous. You don't have plans for us, Marmee, so that's what they say in society? Wait till I tell Laurie. Won't he shout?
I'd rather you didn't tell Laurie, Joe. Really, have you no pride?
I'd imagine I do.
Of course she won't tell.
We'll just marry him, won't we? And march off to our cooking and our sewing, and adventure will be over and liberty will be at an end?
Who on earth are you quoting?
Joe, march.
I see. Well, Meg, shall I tell you who you are?
Please do.
You are a fine young girl, and the daughter of a family not rich enough nor inclined to follow fashion. But you'll be your own woman soon, and so of course you'll have to satisfy your curiosities about the world.
But does she have to do it in a low-cut gown? Christopher Columbus!
Well, perhaps not. Though while I can't approve of low-cut gowns, I see no serious harm done. And as it happens, Joe, I do have plans for my girls. Would you all like to hear them?
Yes.
Please tell.
I want my daughters to be, let me see, accomplished, good, to have a happy youth, to be well and wisely married.
Or to be splendid old maids.
That's right, Joe. And either way, to be cherished and admired, to be ready for duty and capable of joy. My girls, I am ambitious for you, but not to have you make a dash in the world merely by marrying rich men. Beth, Amy, shall we see about tea?
Meg, did you seriously flirt?
I tried, but I don't know if I succeeded.
You won't get all silly on me, will you, Meg? You won't go all stupid and blank and plan at the window for the young men and forget who you are and forget about me?
No, Joe.
Promise?
I think so.
Promise.
I think so.
Say yes. Say definitely yes. Well?
Oh, yes.
Meg, listen. A special invitation from the P.O. Oh, Teddy, how jolly. Here's my kind of social occasion. Request your immediate reply, Meg!
You needn't shout, Joe. We're standing right under your mouth.
Nose, Amy. What's it? For heaven's sake, what is it, Joe?
Well, it's only for me and Meg.
So, I want to hear it.
Suit yourself. Listen, Meg. Teddy's inviting us to the theater this very afternoon to see A Hall of a Mountain King. Imagine. I'm on my way to fetch you. Won't let you off at any price. I've asked your mother already, so nobody shall worry. In a tearing hurry, yours ever, Laurie.
What shall we wear?
Wear what you have on. We aren't the show. We're the audience.
Well, it is a matinee.
Are you guys just going to go off with Laurie and leave Beth and me at home?
I want to be at home. Old Mr. Laurence sent me a new piece for the piano.
You must let me come. Beth is going to be fussing over the piano, repeating and repeating, and I have nothing to do, and I'm so lonely.
Not this time, dear. You're not invited.
You can't go, Amy, so don't be a baby and whine about it. Go next time.
I have my own rag money. I'll pay for myself. Laurie will say yes once he knows how much I want it.
Suppose we do take her. I don't believe Marmee will mind if we bundle her up well.
If she goes, I shan't. And if I don't go, Laurie won't like it. And it'll be very rude after he invited only us to go and drag Amy along. And I should think she hates to poke herself where she isn't wanted.
Meg wants me.
Our seats are reserved, and you can't go off sitting alone in the theater, can you? And Laurie can't give up his seat for you. Meg, this isn't proper.
Since when do you care for anything proper?
Fetch your gloves if you're gonna wear them, Meg.
You must wear yours too.
Oh no, I poured lemonade on them and they're spoiled. This is dastardly, Meg.
Well, here, quick, take one of mine and hold the spoiled crumpled glove in your other hand. And I'll do the same. There, that's fashionable, I hope.
It's a complete fraud.
Perfect, because we're going to a theater.
Right.
What ho, girls?
Teddy!
I shall go too. Meg says I may. I have my own rag money. I'll pay for myself. Laurie hasn't anything to do with it.
Meg!
Not this time, dear.
I shall go!
We don't have time for this. We're coming, Teddy.
You'll be sorry for this, Joe March. See if you aren't.
Oh, fiddlesticks, Amy.
Is that you, Amy?
Yes? Why?
Oh, this horrid piano, listen. Oh. Does this sound right to you?
It sounds fine to me.
No, it doesn't.
Well, aren't you the crosspatch?
Oh, I'm sorry, Amy. You don't look quite right yourself.
Here's my Beth. Here's my Amy. The house seems a bit lonely this afternoon, girls. Shall we have our tea early?
I'm not hungry.
I ought to just continue here. I've almost got it.
Well, in that case, I'll run into the village on errands.
On second thought, Marmee, may I come with you?
Of course.
That is, unless, Amy, you'd like me to stay. We could play checkers or take out the old dolls.
No, thank you.
Goodbye, Amy.
Goodbye.
So bright out.
Yes, nothing like the bright sun and fresh air. Amy, we're home.
Oh,
What is it, Beth?
Marmee, the The piano.
Oh, my word.
Was it brought by fairies? Do you think it's real?
Why don't you go and find out?
I'm afraid it might vanish.
There's a note here, Bethy. It's to you.
Will you read it?
Well, glory be. It's yours.
Mine. It's such a beautiful thing to look at. I'm afraid it won't play.
Go ahead, Bethy, go ahead.
Oh. For the little musician from old Mr. Laurence. But he's like a king. How can I thank him? I can't run over to him. His house is so enormous.
Unless I'm very much mistaken, he's hovering over by the window, hoping to hear you play.
I must find a way to thank him.
What a treat, Teddy. You're a trump.
It was brilliant, wasn't it?
Brilliant.
The costumes.
Like the explosion and the fire effect?
Why, Beth.
Well, my word, just look.
Aha, I knew grandfather was planning this. I must go congratulate him.
Let me go with you.
Good. See you in a bit, Joe. Skating?
Right.
Thank you ever so much, Laurie.
Goodbye.
Just listen.
Go on, Beth.
Hello, Amy. Hello, Amy. Hello, Amy. Why won't anyone say hello to Amy?
Of course, dear, but this is so extraordinary.
Hello, Amy.
I'll play again in a little while. I'm still getting used to the idea. Won't you tell us about the theater? We're dying to know.
Well, it was called the Hall of the Mountain King.
We know what it was called.
You've done something, Amy. I can see it in your face.
You think you can see through me? You think you know everything? Well,
You've dumped out my drawers, haven't you?
Well, first the prince and princesses come on in satin robes.
Yes?
And then little elves all dressed in green.
It's not my drawers, not my hairbrush. Nothing's wrong with my clothes. You didn't go up to the garret, did you, Amy?
you don't own this house. Other people live here.
She wouldn't dare.
You didn't go up in the garret, did you, Amy?
A prince and princess, elves, and what else?
Beth? Meg? Have either of you seen my little book? My book of fairy tales that I just finished?
No, Joe. Then, after, a huge light comes up on a mountain.
You've got it, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
You know where it is then?
No, I don't.
That's a lie!
I don't know where it is anymore.
You know something about it?
It isn't anywhere.
Well, why not?
'Cause it's there.
What? Have you really burnt it? You wicked, wicked little girl. I finished that book and I can never write it again. And I'll never forgive you for as long as I live.
Amy, how could you?
You saw how mean she was?
That's no excuse. She can be sorry for being mean, but you can't bring her book back.
Oh, Joe, your lovely book. I'm sure she's sorry.
Well, I am sorry. It's just that I was angry and I flung it in and then it just burnt up.
She doesn't deserve to be forgotten.
Don't talk about me like I'm not in the room, Meg.
I won't come for you, Amy.
What's all this?
Oh, Marmee.
Marmee, Joe and I went off to the theater just as Laurie invited us, you know, and Amy wanted to go too, but we couldn't let her, and Joe was sharp about it. And so Amy had gone and...
I threw Joe's book into the fire, and I feel like I've murdered something, and I know that I haven't. All that I can say is that I'm sorry.
I see. Well, Amy, you can't just cry I'm sorry to save yourself from blame.
But I'm truly terribly sorry.
Then you'll have to tell her properly. I think you know what I mean.
Yes. Please forgive me, Joe. I'm very, very sorry.
I'll never forgive you.
I see.
Laurie's coming to the door.
Don't ask me to forgive her. She doesn't deserve it.
He's come to take you skating, Joe.
Tell him that I can't see him. Tell him what happened and that I can't see anyone.
Joe, dear, go with Laurie and tell him yourself. He'll understand. Don't think about it. Just go.
All right.
I shall go too.
Amy, do you really wish to make things worse?
No, I'm not invisible. I want her to see me again. I want to ask her again.
Give Laurie a moment to cheer her up first.
No, I'm going now.
Amy!
Mother Meg.
Amy, what is it, Laurie?
She'll be fine. I think we need to get her straight to bed.
She fell through the ice.
Marmee! What's happened?
Amy, she was following us and she fell through the ice and Laurie pulled her out.
She held on tight. Everything's gonna be okay. Come sit down. Everything will be okay, okay? Trust me.
Is she really all right?
Yes, dear, she is. In fact, she wants out of bed already.
Laurie did it all. I skated far ahead, though. I knew she was following us, and if she did die, it would be my fault. It's my dreadful temper.
I know, dear, I know.
You don't know. You can't guess how bad it is. I'm afraid I'll do something horrible someday and spoil my life. Everybody will shun me.
Joe, dear, you think your temper is the worst in the world, but mine used to be just like it.
Yours, Mother? You're never angry.
I've been trying to cure it for almost 40 years, and have only just nearly succeeded in controlling it. But I'm angry nearly every day of my life.
You are, aren't you? When you fold your lips tight together?
Do I?
Yes, you do.
Well, I've had a hard time of it, Joe, and cried bitter tears over my failures.
But you have some secret.
I don't believe I do. Well, perhaps one, but it's a mystery.
What?
Just that, a mystery. What makes people do as they do. Myself, sometimes so bitter, and at other times, able to control my temper. And when I contemplate that, it makes it easier to forgive.
You mean grace?
Yes, and I mean life itself. It's a mystery what makes people do things. Petty things, sometimes terrible things that shouldn't be allowed. And I find I must allow them. But oftentimes, I don't understand.
You understand one thing, that it's better not to explode.
Yes, usually so. I'll tell you what I understand. I understand you, my darling.
You do, don't you?
Did you notice by chance a bit of warmth in the breeze this morning? It must nearly be spring. Here's Amy now.
I can walk. I'm sorry, Joe. I just wanted to tell you.
Amy, I'm sorry too.
Look who I found on our doorstep.
Uninvited, a rogue and a beggar.
More like a king, at least to this household.
How are you, Amy?
I'm fine now.
Mr. Laurence.
Dear girl, I don't come to frighten you. I come to hear you play.
Mr. Laurence.
No, please don't say a word.
Dear Mr. Laurence.
Now. I heard music from my window this afternoon, and I heard nothing. So I became impatient and meddlesome, and here I am.
What would you like to hear, sir?
Anything that's not a hymn. Very nice. The human spirit does need something more than a hymn.
How very kind you are, sir.
Did you see that? Knocked me over with a feather.
Well, that was forward. I heard the little girl had an accident, fell through the ice.
She's all right. Yes, I'm all right now.
But to fall through the ice, how frightening. Was no one watching you?
Yes, dreadfully frightening. The edges of the ice were sharp and jagged, and the water was cold as Antarctica.
Really cold as Antarctica.
I believe she's recovered.
Mr. Brooke!
Mr. Brooke, I knew someone was missing. Now we are all together.
Good evening, Good evening, Margaret.
Margaret?
Miss March.
Good evening, Mr. Brooke.
I do need to interrupt the birthday, but I am to deliver.
Dear God,
Father?
Father is very sick at the front. I must go to him at once.
What shall we
Father!
do? Let me see. How shall we afford it?
Shh, Joe, be calm, girls, and let me think.
No savings? No, I thought not. Nothing set aside for a rainy day.
I have to go and get something. Don't let Marmee depart until I'm back.
What? Where are you going?
Don't follow me. I have to go alone. Haven't you ever heard of self-sufficiency?
But of course you want to worry about money.
If there's any call for money, James, I shall be the one.
Georgetta, surely get a time.
At such a time, there's family pride. They're family, you realize, even if the resemblance is not apparent.
You are most kind, Aunt March.
At any rate, Miss March will accompany you. We'll take my carriage to the station.
Sir, if I may be excused from my duties, let me go instead.
Yes, dear Mr. Laurence, send Mr. Brooke with me, and you stay here. I feel so much safer knowing you're just across the way to keep an eye on my girls.
So be it.
Thank you, Mr. Brooke.
Well, perhaps I should take the girls home with me. It's a large home, as you know, and contains many valuable and fragile items.
Aunt March, you are so very kind.
Amy?
If you tell them to be kind, they will be kind.
But perhaps some of the girls, one or two.
Aunt March, you are unbelievably kind.
Or if you like, just one, a small, pretty one with lovely manners.
Aunt March, you are most kind. But it may cause jealousy and resentment if you took just one, and you can't take all. I fear it's not practical.
No, I fear not.
Your kindness, however, will never be forgotten.
Amy, you've outdone yourself.
Girls, where's Joe?
She ran off somewhere.
At a time like this?
Laurie's with her. He'll fetch her back.
Very well. Help me pack and we'll hold family council.
Handkerchiefs, underthings, an extra shawl, and soap.
You're not going to be here, and you're always here, and I'm going to miss you.
You must give us a thought, Marmee. We'll carry on.
Don't follow me in unless you want to take the blame.
Never mind the blame. I've got to see the reaction. Amy at least is sure to faint.
No one's going to care once they get used to it.
Unto your dear husband. I'll be mother.
And I shall be man of the house.
Oh, my dear Joe, have you done something rash? What's happened to your hair?
Sold it for $25. You'll need food and medicines and blankets and who knows. You'll have expenses.
Joe, dear, thank you. I hope you won't regret this.
Regret it? No, never. I was wild enough to do something for father.
You feel like a Labrador puppy.
What heroism!
You cut off your hair? You sold your hair?
To the wig maker down the street. They cut it, snip, snip, and it was gone. You aren't angry with me.
No, dear.
I'd sooner let them cut off my head.
Didn't hurt, Amy. And besides, my head feels very free.
But your hair was your only beauty.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Who's asking anyone? We have to get you to your train, Marmee.
Joe, dear, thank you for your sacrifice. Girls, you'll be well? You'll be good to each other?
We'll be gilded angels.
We will, we will.
Oh, Meg, was it my only beauty?
No.
Oh, what else do I have?
Well, you have nice hands, lovely eyes.
They always say that, don't they? When a girl's feeling a little homely, nice hands, nice eyes.
Joe, you have fine, strong features. You have You're mine! And in this afternoon, he sat up in bed. Marmee saw his father sitting up in bed, Joe.
Good.
He's definitely better.
Good.
The danger is almost past, she says. Stop sweeping that floor and have a cup of tea. You've already swept twice today.
You're right.
And I miss you all, but thank God and John Brooke for their constant assistance. John Brooke.
We've been gilded angels for more than a month. I've scrubbed, dusted, swept, darned a million socks, and I need a change.
Don't you think he's kind?
Who?
Mr. Brooke.
Why shouldn't he be so kind?
He's done so much for us.
Yes, and?
That's it.
The chores really are all done, aren't they?
Very much so.
Well, I need a change. I'm going up to the garret to work on my war story.
I thought you were writing a mystery story.
Finish that. At the moment, I prefer soldiers, battle plans, armaments, strategies. Oh, hello, Beth.
You look tired, Bethy. Where have you been all afternoon?
I'm off to run a war, Beth. If you'd like a visit, I'm up in the garret.
Bless you.
Joe, the Hummel baby has been sick, so Hannah and I took them some porridge, and I feel not quite right.
Oh, don't you? Let me look at you. I don't believe you have a fever.
Here, have a cup of tea. Where's Hannah?
Hannah, well, she went with the doctor to his office.
Oh, is Hannah sick?
Oh, no, she'll be straight back from the doctor's office.
You do seem a little off, Bethy. Would you like to curl up in my garret bed? I'd love to have you. I can scribble and you can drink some tea.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to write Mother. Any messages?
Won't you take a vacation, Meg?
But it's what I most want to do.
Don't tell her I'm sick.
Oh, we won't. You're just tired.
Then afterwards, I may write to Mr. Brooke.
Do you mean Mr. John Brooke? My tutor? Is he the one you're writing to?
Laurie!
At your service.
Don't eavesdrop!
Weren't you talking to me?
You know I wasn't!
Well, then pardon me. And when you're done with those letters, you can go ahead and leave them on the table. I'll take them to town whenever I go.
Why, thank you.
Not at all. Where's Joe?
In the garret for a change.
Is she back at her scribbling? Good. Scribbling, are you? Having fun?
I'm on holiday, self-proclaimed. Fun forever and no grubbing, at least until tomorrow. By the way, I saw you in town today.
I saw you too. What were you up to?
Secret?
I have a secret myself.
You weren't playing billiards, were you?
I can't believe you'd be so stuffy to preach against the billiards.
Well, I don't like to see you wasting your cleverness on something as empty as billiards.
Okay, well, we aren't discussing billiards, we're discussing secrets. I'll tell you my secret if you tell me yours.
Is it a good one?
Oh, isn't it? It's all about people you know and such fun.
Tell!
You first.
You won't repeat it to anyone?
Not a word.
And you won't tease me about it in private?
I don't tease.
Yes, you do. You get anything you want out of everyone.
Thank you. Now tell me your secret.
Well, you remember that mystery story I just finished? I left it with the editor of the paper.
Joe, how wonderful.
Shh, it won't come to anything. He didn't say when he's give his answer.
But it will come to something. I know it will. And when we see it in the print, won't we be proud of our author?
Now your secret.
I'm not finished. I have to, hurrah, hurrah.
Now your secret. Play fair, Teddy, or you'll never get anything out of me again.
Well, I know where Meg's glove is.
In her drawer?
Nope, Brooke has it. She left it in the carriage whenever we went to the theater. The driver brought it back to the house, and Brooke said he'd return it back to Meg, but he never has.
That's horrid. Meg!
You said you wouldn't tell. You promised.
I didn't promise anything.
That was understood. I trusted you.
Well, I'm disgusted, and I wish you hadn't told me anything.
I thought you'd be pleased.
At the thought of someone coming to take Meg away?
You'll feel better when someone comes for you.
I'd like to see anyone try.
What is it? What's the matter, Joe?
Keep your secrets to yourself, Laurie. How do you feel, Beth?
Beth, are you sick?
No.
Maybe you do have a bit of a fever.
Hannah? Have you put Beth to bed? I have the medicine the doctor gave me.
She's in the garret with Joe. Who's the medicine for, Hannah?
Honey, it's for Beth. Hasn't she told you? She's been exposed to scarlet fever.
Oh, no. Oh, my heavens!
Had it, haven't you?
Yes, a mild case, and so has Joe. But not Amy. Oh, here's Amy now. Amy, we have to get you out of the house. Joe, keep Beth there for a moment. We have to take out Amy.
Why?
I've got your medicine, dear.
What is it, everyone?
Haven't you told anyone, Beth?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I didn't even think of exposing others. Joe, you've had it. Laurie, have you ever had scarlet fever?
Yes, I have.
Is that it, Bethy? Scarlet fever?
Aunt March will take Amy.
Oh no, please don't send me away.
Oh, I'm sorry, Amy. She is pernickety, but you manage her very well.
Yes, I understand her.
You must go right now.
I'll take Amy over in grandfather's carriage. No, don't you worry, Amy. I'll take you for a ride each afternoon, and we can all send each other letters through our post office.
Goodbye, Beth.
Goodbye, Amy.
Scarlet fever, Beth?
Oh, this afternoon. I can't tell.
The Harmon baby was so sick, and so I went to fetch the doctor. And while I was gone, the baby had died.
Baby died on my lap, Joe. But I won't get the fever. I can't get the fever, not with Marmee away.
You needn't worry about Mother. I've nursed others through the fever, Bethy, and will nurse you.
The baby was restless, Joe. And I was talking to her.
Were you?
And she grew quiet. I didn't want her to grow quiet. I'll take the medicine, Joe. I won't get the fever.
Come, let's get you to rest. You'll have whatever you have.
Joe?
Oh, I didn't mean to wake you, Bethy. Feeling any better? She's awake, Meg.
Any better?
Would you like me to read to you?
Oh, I wish I could see Amy.
So do I. But if she comes, it'll be too tempting for her to come inside. So we have to be content with letters.
Letters. I got a letter for each of you. Got a letter for you, one for you, one for me, and 3 for you.
Thank you.
The jig is up. We're in for a laugh.
We could use a laugh. What are you plotting?
You'll see any minute now, but until then, I have something from Amy to all of us. Beth, you've impressed Amy with your fever, but you haven't impressed me.
Teddy?
I'm being serious, Beth. I'm not impressed. I want you to show me a different show. Show me Prometheus stealing fire from heaven. Or show me Grendel with his arm torn off dragging Beowulf down to the watery depths. That's a comedy show. Show me Cleopatra driving a herd of elephants.
Teddy, show us what you brought.
Well, what I have here is Amy's last will and testament. This is serious. She sees that life is tragic and in earnest. She knows that sometimes the good die young. Put on a serious face, you clown. Amy March, my last will and testament. I, being the sound of sanitary.
Sanitary?
Oh, yes. Do wish to dispose of all my earthly property if I should meet an early and untimely end, which follows viz. To wit, namely, and there's an enormous list. Who would have thought that little Amy had so much property?
Right.
Joe, you get her inkstand. but not the cat because you yourself lost it. Beth, you get her dog collection, even if she acknowledges that some are broken.
Some. Most of them are broken.
And some are not quite sanitary.
Furthermore, if I should die untimely, I wish to be remembered as a great artist, even if I have yet produced a masterpiece. Remember what was in me.
There, she has me shedding a tear, as though we won't have her to plague us for many years to come.
Oh, I'm not done. I, Amy March, affix my hand to this, my last will and testament. I hope all will be satisfied and not blame the dead.
That's wonderful. Don't tell me laugh. Tell me won't blame the dead.
Do you hear the music?
Yes, that's grandfather, playing by the window. Shall I tell him you like it?
Oh, yes.
And when will you be playing for him again?
Not today.
Joe!
Laurie?
Oh, no, it's all a mistake. He never wrote me any love letter at all. Joe, come here to me this minute.
Better go answer her. The jig is up. We're in for a laugh now.
What did you do?
What's wrong, Meg?
Joe, how could you?
What do you mean? I've done nothing.
You wrote this and Laurie helped you. How can you be so rude and mean?
From Mr. Brooke? My dearest Margaret, I can no longer restrain my passion and must know my fate before I return. Your parents would consent if they knew we adored one another? Adored one another? How dare he speak this way?
He never wrote me as well as you know, but it gets worse. I answered him.
What did you say? You didn't promise anything.
I said I was too young. What else do you expect me to say? But he never wrote me at all. Look, I have not wrote you a letter, Margaret. Someone is playing a prank on you. Your sister Joe, perhaps.
Let me see the handwriting. Look, don't you recognize it?
It's mine. I did it.
So?
It matches.
Meg, don't worry. It's just a prank.
Theodore Laurence.
I just like for you to both tell me how I ever look at Mr. Brooke in the face again.
Meg, I wrote both of the letters. I intercepted your answer. Joe doesn't know a whisper, and Brooke doesn't know a thing about it.
Yes, but then you go tell him and have the best laugh yet.
I will never tell him to my dying day. Wild horses shan't drag it out of me.
Theodore Laurence, you could be arrested for tampering with a male, but I know how to make it worse. I'm gonna drag you over to your grandfather's, and we'll see what he has to say when he hears that you've been meddling with young girls' hearts.
Why, you're serious, aren't you?
Aren't I? You shall not be allowed to make fools of us, to deceive us.
I thought it would all be funny. Beth, I sort of felt like Cupid.
To turn us against each other, to encroach upon our honor?
Insult you? Encroach upon your honor?
Indeed, to trifle with our affections.
I would never trifle with your affections.
Cupid.
I didn't lie about all of it. There's the glove.
What glove?
My glove. I'm warning you, Laurie, don't say another word.
No, best not. I'll just slink home.
I'm sorry, Meg, though I had nothing to do with it.
It serves me right for being easy to fool. I thought those letters were real.
You did?
Oh, like a pleasant diversion, like reading a story.
Pleasant?
Yes, compared to lonesome and sickness from Marmee. Did the doctor see Beth today?
Yes. He didn't say much, though. I thought he'd be pleased to see that Beth is so peaceful. He'll come again tomorrow.
I wish Marmee were with us.
So do I. But we can't have her worrying while she's away nursing father.
Listen, Joe. Laurie's joined his grandfather again. He's trying to beg your pardon.
Of course I forgive him. I always do.
How lovely. Do you think Beth can hear it while she sleeps?
I hope she can.
Oh, Marmee, I'm so glad you're home.
I came the instant I got your telegram. Do you think she's any better, Meg?
I can't say. Listen to them play. They've been playing all night.
You think they'd be tired?
Oh, Marmee, I miss you so much. I felt that she simply improved when she stepped into that door.
I hope so too, Meg. I'd like to think my love were that powerful. I wish your father were with us. He wanted so badly to come home with me.
When will he be well enough to travel?
Not for some time yet.
Let me, Marmee. I'd do anything to make her well.
So would we all, Joe, but it's out of our hands.
Yes.
Marmee, she's asleep. May I close my eyes for a minute, Joe?
Please do. I'm quite awake.
Joe?
Yes, Beth? Do you recognize me? Are you with us again?
Hello, Joe.
Please stay with us, Beth. I love you ever so much more than before. Don't go. I'd miss you too terribly.
I'll miss.
Yes? What will you miss, Bethy?
I'll miss the piano and the sun on the trees.
You must think of what you'll miss. You must fight.
I'm gonna miss you, Joe.
Don't say that. Listen, Beth. I'm going to take your place and do everything that you do, and you won't have to do anything anymore. Yes, I'll be the stay-at-home daughter and care for mother and father always and keep house for them in their old age. And then it'll be you and me. Think of how nice that will be, please.
Shush, Joe. You'll like the others.
What about our journey? I promised to take you to the lands far away, and I meant it.
I know, Joe. It's just that I'm so tired.
There must be a place where you could get better. Somewhere with more sun where we could be together.
There's a place, Joe, but I must go alone.
Don't say that. Listen, Bethy, I'll even put away my wildness and my silly scribbling. I promise, Bethy. Just don't go tonight. Please stay, Bethy. Stay with us.
I can't.
Listen to the music.
Someone's calling me.
Laurie and his grandfather are playing for you. Don't you hear? Goodbye, Bethy. Goodbye. Mother? Meg? She's gone.
I've been practicing Beth's Christmas Carol. I can't play very well, but Laurie's helping me.
Which is it that Father likes to eat? White potatoes or sweet potatoes?
Sweet potatoes. But he won't arrive home today, Hannah. His letter said he'd arrive home at Christmas.
That's a mere 2 weeks away. I clean your study, dust the books, and look.
It's Father's pipe.
Yes, all nice and clean.
Smells like his tobacco.
Put that in there, smell. Let's see. What else is
Mr. Brooke.
Forgive me for barging in.
You're home, Mr. Brooke. Is Father with you?
No, he sent me on ahead. I bring his love and extreme sorrow over Beth.
Yes, thank you. How can we thank you for all that you've done for us?
Is perhaps anyone else at home?
Joe's home. Shall I call her?
No, just tell them all that I'm at home, and I'll call again this afternoon.
Your umbrella!
Who was that?
Mr. Brooke?
And Father?
Not yet. He sent Mr. Brooke home ahead of him.
Did he ask for me?
No.
Did he say anything else?
He said he brings his love.
Oh.
And you said goodbye and he went home.
Yes, but he forgot his umbrella.
Drat, where is it? I'll take it to him.
Just because Laurie made up wild stories, you need to dislike John.
Since when do we call him John?
Mother calls him John.
Yes, but she's mother. If you start to call him John, he'll go all romantical and carry on.
Oh, nonsense.
Well, if he did carry on, what would you say to stop him?
Well, I would say that I am too young and that he is very kind, but we must simply be friends as before.
Good. That's stiff and cool enough.
And then I would walk with great dignity from the room. Mr. Brooke. Hello, Mr. Brooke.
Excuse me, forgive me. I seem to have left my umbrella. Hello, Margaret.
Hello, Mr. Brooke.
Come, Amy. I think there's something burning on the stove. Remember what you planned to say.
What do you plan to say?
Mother would like to see you.
I don't believe she's at home.
Oh.
I saw her at the village.
Oh.
Are you afraid of me, Margaret?
No, of course not. Welcome home, Mr. Brooke. How can I be afraid of you when you've done so much for Father?
Margaret, while I was away, your mother often read your letters aloud to me.
Yes, she told me.
I took the notion while you were writing. You sometimes thought of me.
I imagine I do. We're all so grateful for you, Mr. Brooke. I can't imagine how to thank you.
Shall I tell you how?
Oh, no. Please don't.
I won't trouble you. I only want to know if you care for me, little Meg.
I don't know.
I can't wait, and you can choose to discover if you do.
But I don't choose, and I'm all flustered right now. Please go away and let me be.
What's all this?
Hello, Aunt March.
I came to call on your father.
Father's not arrived yet. I'm so surprised to see you.
That's evident. And who was that?
It's Father's friend.
What is Father's friend saying to make you blush like a peony?
Mr. Brooke came to get his umbrella.
Brooke, that boy's tutor, making a proposal? You haven't gone and accepted him, child.
Hush, he'll hear you.
Do you mean to marry this Mr. Grook? If you do, not one penny of my money goes to you.
I shall marry whom I please, and you can leave your money to anyone you'd like.
Hi, tidy. You'll be sorry when you've tried love in a cottage and found it a failure. This Frook has no rich relations, has he?
No, but he has many warm friends.
He knows you have got rich relations. I suspect that's a secret of his liking.
Aunt March, how dare you? John is above such meanness. John wouldn't marry for money any more than I would. We are willing to work, and we need to wait. I am not afraid of being poor. We are used to it, and we do not mind it. I shall marry him, and he loves me.
Well, I wash my hands on the whole affair. Don't expect anything from me when you are married. I'm done with you, with all of you, forever.
Oh.
Thank you for defending me, so you do care for me, little.
I didn't know how much till she insulted you.
So you won't send me away, but let me stay and be happy? May I?
Yes, John.
Shall we tell him at Christmas? I don't think the secret will keep. Congratulate us, Sister Joe.
Oh, no. Amy, somebody do something. John Brooke is acting dreadfully and Meg likes it.
It's going to be a romantic Christmas.
Ugh.
Quite seriously, Joe, you must be used to it by now. You're just grumbling out of habit.
Am I?
Put your book down. Yes, you are. We aren't children anymore.
Laurie, I don't like that look on your face. We're only 16.
And Meg is 17.
Which is much too young for anything.
Well, there's something I must say, must ask you.
I have an idea as to what you're going to say. Laurie, please don't.
I must. We've got to have it out. The sooner the better for the both of us.
Well, I don't plan to listen.
You must listen. Think of all that we've meant to each other. Why, we do everything together. I've loved you ever since I met you.
Laurie, I love you too, but not love with a capital L.
Oh, but I love you with the capital L. I've tried to show it, but you wouldn't let me.
I never meant to entangle you.
I want to be entangled.
But you know my views on
marriage? I've heard it rumored that you're against it.
Well, best of luck then.
I know what you say, but Girls are so strange, you'll never really know what they'll do. So I can't go on like this without a straight answer. I must ask you, Joe.
Laurie, please don't.
Really, Joe? Marry me, Joe.
I can't say yes truly, so I won't say it at all. I'm happy the way that I am, and I love my liberty all too well, and not just that.
What? Say it all.
I can't just go off on my own and leave mother and father. I promised Beth.
Why, Joe? You aren't meant for that.
I promised Laurie, and it's not just the promise I made to Beth. I'll never marry.
You say that now, but there'll come a time when you'll care for somebody and love him tremendously and live and die for him. I know you will. It's your way, and I shall have to stand by and see it.
Oh, I doubt that very much. I've tried my best, but you won't be reasonable, and it's selfish of you to keep teasing me for something that I can't give. I'll never marry you, and the sooner you realize it, the better for the both of us. Now, we've had it out.
Where are you going, young man?
To the devil.
Just a moment. Here.
What's the matter, Laurie?
Joe. Sir?
Just let me shake your hand. I've been meaning to meet you, Laurie.
Girls, there's someone here to see you. Meg, Amy, Joe?
I hear you're quite a fellow.
Yes, Mother?
What is it?
I'll leave you to your family, sir.
Oh, you promised to return this evening and help us celebrate Christmas.
I'll try my best.
Oh my, it's Father!
It's Father!
Hello, my dear Amy. Let's look at you. Meg?
Father, you're home, you're home!
Where is she? My lieutenant. Guess who's home? Joe.
Father, is that really you? Oh, Father, you look absolutely well.
And you look fierce and wonderful. And let me see what's left of your hair. Dear heart, thank you for the sacrifice.
Oh, I didn't mind. Army regulation.
Well, you paid for my medicines, so how's my Joe?
I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. With you home, how could I not be?
There's something.
Well, it's just that everyone is leaving us. Oh, but here you are, Father, home at last. Beth's gone. Meg is going. And now I've sent Laurie away. I can't help it, but I can't marry him, Father. I really can't.
No, perhaps not.
I'm too young. That's all.
There's some other reason, I think. What's on my Joe's mind?
I always meant to do things, I never meant to marry.
Well, that's a good reason. That's a good reason to say no for now. What things do you mean to do?
Oh, I can sweep and work in the garden.
Yes, and?
And iron the curtains, and clean the carpets.
What about the adventures?
I'll have Hannah teach me to cook.
What about the artistic accomplishments?
I can plant violets in the window box and train a rose bush over the garden gate.
What happened to writing?
Oh, nothing. I don't care for it. It's childish.
Very strange. I don't know this young woman. Rather a drudge, I say, if I have the expression right, rather than no pope.
Don't say that of me, Father. I just can't help it.
What do you mean you can't help it? I believe you can do almost anything you said in your mind. Really, Joe, you're trying my patience.
No, don't pay me any mind. I'm sorry. I'll come around. Just you wait.
Joe, forgive your own father. Something terrible is weighing you down. You really must tell me. Come, what's up?
Oh, it's just that I promised Beth that I'd stay here with you and Mother and care for you always, and I'd give up my wildness and my silly scribbling.
Ah, I see. And how did Beth respond to all these promises?
She didn't say much. I don't like to remember it.
Well, I'm going to answer for her. Mother and father would take care of each other. Birds were meant to fly the nest. In a year or so, you'll fly too. Why if I stay with my mother and father? Would I be here now with my daughter, Joe?
No, I suppose not.
You're growing up. Might as well go for it. Beth would like to see you grow up. She loved you, your tenderness, but also your plans and ambition. And as for your silly scribbling, why would Beth call it writing? Wouldn't she? She was always proud of your writing.
Yes, she was. I believe she'd want me to continue on.
So go back to your writing again.
Yes, I'll go on. write whole books and be a writer.
Good, that's my job.
Dear nephew.
At long last, all together.
I thought she was done with us forever.
Of course not. You just don't understand her.
No, play. You must play.
We miss Beth very much, don't we? But it's nearly Christmas. I'm going to ask the family to leave off mourning. I think Beth will want us to celebrate.
I hear the oldest girl is getting married.
Yes, she's accepted this fine young man.
I don't imagine she has much to wear. I'd like to provide the trousseau, not to choose any of it or in any way interfere. In fact, I'd like to do it quite privately, between us two. I wouldn't want her to feel beholden.
How really very kind of you.
Here, my boy. Have you heard the news? I'm sending it to the continent for his season. Yes, before he goes to college, I think he'll see Italy and France.
Teddy, Italy and France?
I thought she'd accept them. Girls are a mystery.
I don't know. She knows her own mind.
Come, Aunt March, Meg, John, shall we sing?